What is up, everybody? We're back again. NBA playoffs, Draftkings breakdown. We got a big day today. Game 7, Boston Celtics, Toronto Raptors. Really excited to just watch that game in general. Not even for DFS purposes. It's just going to be a great game. We've had a ton of great games in that series, and I'm so excited to see this close out in the Game 7. Last game was probably, in my opinion, was the best game of the entire playoffs, so I'm really excited to see this matchup. Two teams who are just, really evenly matched, I think, and two teams that are fighting really hard, and they're going to all be gassed, so that's going to be interesting. Probably going to be a lot of defense, a lot of turnovers, not a ton of scoring. But before we get into all the DFS plays, if you're new to this channel, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, turn on the notification bell. All those things really help me out, help me grow a lot. We've had a lot of growth throughout NBA season and NASCAR season, and now NFL is back, and I've already put up a ton of videos this week. I got a few more coming out this weekend before the NFL slate on Sunday, as well as the showdown slates on Monday and Sunday night, so be sure to check out all of that. If you want to subscribe to my Patreon, I'll put the link in the description below. For only $10 a month, you're going to get a cheat sheet with all the stats you need to know for DraftKings, FanDuel, Yahoo, and SuperDraft, along with projections. You're also going to get a daily article that just goes over some more plays in depth that I really like. Then you're also going to get salary tier rankings and a cash core and injury notes, although there's really not many injuries right now, every single day. So be sure to check out that for only $10 a month. NBA season's coming to close, so not much longer for that anyway, but be sure to give that a check. If you want, follow me on social media. Twitter's at DFSNateLane, Instagram's at NateLane_. I'll put the link in the description below for you as well. But I think without further ado, it's time to get into these players. And we're going to start with the jersey that I'm wearing today. Jaylen Brown, Boston Celtics, $8,000. Man, Jaylen Brown, I'm so happy to see the growth he's had this year. I've been a huge fan of his really since his college days. He's going to play 41 minutes today. I mean, the Celtics have just, both these teams, we'll get into the Raptors, are my last team we'll talk about, but both these teams are just kind of pretty much going like 6 guys mainly, and maybe a few guys here and there at little minutes, but I have Jaylen Brown for 41 minutes today. He's $8,000. He had a great game last game. I mean, he does seem kind of expensive at $8,000, but like at this point, I just don't care. This is the game I want exposure to today. These guys are just going to play more minutes than normal. This is such a big game, and the stars rise into big games. And in my opinion, Jaylen Brown is a star. So at $8,000, I don't hate paying for him. 1.01 point per minute guy. We know if he's knocking down shots, he's going to be huge. He seemed to have higher usage in the last game, so I do like going to Jaylen Brown today a lot. Marcus Smart at 6,800 put up a triple-double in the last game. He had like 60 DraftKings points. It was insane. It was the best game I've ever seen Marcus Smart play. Another play. I mean, I'm not a Celtics fan, but I'm a very big fan of this Celtics team because I just love the players that they have on their team. Been a huge fan of Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and Jason Tatum since their college days, so really happy to see them succeeding a lot. But anyway, Marcus Smart, 6,800. I mean, that's just way too expensive for Marcus Smart, but the guy's been playing out of his mind, so I don't hate going there. He's going to play 40 minutes. He's going to be out there. He's been knocking down his threes. He's been playing great defense. He's been even getting to the basket scoring. He's gotten to the assist numbers clearly and the rebound numbers clearly last game, so I don't hate going there. Just not someone I'd make a core play, but I mean, I think he's someone just to sprinkle in lineups. Definitely someone I want to have some exposure to today. Jason Tatum at $9,500. I have him for 41 minutes today, a 1.19 point per minute player. Dude went off last game. I mean, he's just taking over, showing that he's that superstar that the Celtics really need, I think, to really win a championship, is someone to really take over and he's a superstar. And sometimes I'm just watching the Celtics, and I just think Tatum's sometimes just too passive. Like, he'll get into the paint, and he'll just look to make the pass instead of just taking on Fred VanVleet and scoring. Like, you got a smaller guy on you, take it to the basket and score. Like, just sometimes he's a little more passive, but he is only like, 21, 22. That stuff's going to come with age, come with growth. So, I mean, you can't, it's just, that's the stuff you learn. I mean, I'm sure next year it's going to be different. So, I love going back to Tatum. He's a high point per minute guy, the highest usage player on the floor right now for his team. I think he's a very good player to go to. They love getting him switched on to the smaller guys like VanVleet and Lowry. We have seen Anunoby play some very good defense. So, but Jason Tatum, definitely someone I want to get some exposure to today. Daniel Tice at $5,600 played. I have him for 37 minutes today. I think I was wrong last game about, he's not going to play a ton of minutes. But out of all the stars, he probably is the lowest usage guy. 5,600, he's probably not going to be out there doing much. He's going to get most of his points from rebounds and putbacks, and maybe just a lob here and there. But I think it's a fine option at $5,600. I do not hate going there at all. He'll be someone I target today on the slate for sure, but definitely not a core guy. Kemba Walker at $7,700. He had a terrible game last game, and he got fouled, by the way, at the end. Like, that was bullcrap. They should have won that game, honestly. This game should not be in series, should not be in 7. But hey, I'm not complaining. I just love great basketball. So, and I'm also a big fan of this Toronto Raptors team. I love some of the players. We'll get to them as well. But Kemba Walker, $7,700, is going to play a ton of minutes. He had a rough game last game, but his shot wasn't falling. He was still useful in real-life basketball, not in DraftKings. But he's someone that I'm not too high on, but I think he's someone to definitely have some exposure to, so I do not hate going to Kemba. That's really it for Boston. I'm not playing Brad Wanamaker and the rest of the guys I'm just not going to get to. I want minutes on today's slate, so Torrey Craig went from not playing at all to playing 25 minutes last game. I thought that was interesting, so I don't really know what to do with him today. I've been a huge proponent of actually getting him in instead of someone like Porter, just because I think that they need defense more than offense, honestly. It's their defense. They need guys to guard Kawhi and Paul George, and Michael Porter Jr. I mean, Jeremy Grant's fine, but Michael Porter Jr. is not that guy. I think Torrey Craig is. So at $3,400, I think he's going to get out there and play, but I mean, he's just not going to do much. It's Torrey Craig, you can't expect a ton from Torrey Craig. He's a 0.7 point per minute guy, $3,400, but I don't hate him if he's going to get out there and play 25 minutes. I'll have some exposure to him, but just not a ton. Jeremy Grant at $4,900. I've heard 34 minutes right now. I mean, he's just not been good. I mean, he's been good in real life, playing very good defense, good real life player, but he's just not been good in the DraftKings arena here. Just not someone who's been a great player so far, but for us. But I mean, he's going to be out there a ton at $4,900. Someone I want to get some exposure to. I'd rather play him than Gary Harris at $4,600 for 23 minutes, or he might get 30, but he's a way lower point per minute producer. Both these guys not too high on, but there'll be guys I sprinkle into lineups today. I don't hate them, but just probably not going to go there. I'll probably go a different direction. Forgot to put in Nikola Jokic's salary here, but he's like $9,900. I'm pretty sure. If I'm wrong about that, he's in that area. It's relative at this point. 39 minutes I have for Nikola Jokic and a great matchup against centers for the Clippers. This is the best matchup on the floor. This is who you want to attack the Clippers with. Always are the bigs, not the guards. So I'll continue to get some Nikola Jokic exposure. It seems like every single night, because recently I've just been playing single entries. I haven't been playing GPPs for basketball because I've been really, the whole day more just been focusing on school and football. So haven't really gotten time to make some GPP lineups, but today I think I am. So I'm actually really excited to get back to maxing out tournaments. But every day it feels like I get it wrong on Jokic. One day I play Jokic and Kawhi goes off, and every day I play Kawhi, Jokic goes off. So it's been tough. But Jokic is still a very good play and a very good spot. So I do like getting to Nikola Jokic. Definitely gonna have some exposure to him tonight. Paul Millsap, $4,700. His minutes have been up and down. He's another guy I don't really think should be out there as much as someone like Torrey Craig, personally, for real basketball life. So I'm not going to go there. I'll maybe get a few lines with him, but if he's only going to play 15 minutes again, he's definitely not someone I want to have exposure to. Jamal Murray played 44 minutes last game. I don't know if he's going to play that many. Honestly, I think he's probably more than likely to play, 39? So then I have 5 minutes to give somewhere else. Let's give some to Millsap. 17, and then the rest of Monty Morris. So, I just don't think Murray's playing 44 minutes again. He might, because they're down 3-1, but Denver's probably not winning this game. They're probably done. I'm really, another team I've been big on, as a whole team. I really like Jamal Murray, and I've been a Jokic fan, and I really like Michael Porter Jr. In the future, I don't think right now he should be playing, but in the future, I think Michael Porter Jr. is going to be a star. And as a Hornets fan, we'll never, ever forgive the Hornets for taking Miles Bridges over him. But Jamal Murray, this is not the spot where you want to. I just don't think this team's going to win this game. I think they're done. I think this team isn't good enough. They're not better than the Clippers. Clippers have been my favorite to win the championship for a while now. So, I just don't. And Murray's in a terrible matchup. The perimeter defenders in LA are just insanely good, and you do not attack them with the wings. There's just not a spot to really get to Jamal Murray, in my opinion. Same thing with Michael Porter Jr. I don't think he's getting 30. I just don't know why he's getting 34 minutes right now. It's just, he shouldn't be getting that many minutes. He can score the ball, but he's awful on defense. The Clippers just switch him on to Kawhi or Paul George, and he just torches them. So, and we saw the comments Porter said after the game last time. So, yeah, he's not getting as much playing time today. So, I'm not probably going to get a ton of Porter. But he is $5,200. He does offer a ton of upside at $5,200, but still probably somewhere I'm not going to completely go to. We'll go to the LA Clippers, where I got Pat Bev, $3,800 for 23 minutes today. He's okay. He's just so unproductive. 0.8 point per minute guy, but really, it's just not worth it at 23 minutes, in my opinion. I don't really want to get there. I'll probably have some exposure to him, but I'll definitely be under the field. And I don't know. I just don't think he's just not, when he's not 100%, we've seen this, he just doesn't do much. He'll have the games where he kind of explodes, but for the most part, he doesn't really do much. So, not someone I really am interested in. Most of the usage is going to Kawhi and Paul George and Lou Will and even Harrell, Marcus Morris. They're getting the ball instead of Pat Bev right now. Pat Bev's for defense. He's not there for offense. So, he can knock down an occasional three and stuff, but for the most part, he's not there for that. Paul George, $8,400, still too cheap. I have him for 40 minutes today. He only played 26 last game, but they pretty much handled Denver. I think he'll play 40 again in a close game today. So, I do want to get to some Paul George at $8,400. He's just too good for that price, so I'll get there. JaMychal Green, probably not going to play. Montrezl Harrell, probably not going to play 4,300. Kawhi Leonard, though, I mean, I don't feel like I have to say much anymore about Kawhi Leonard. He's just Kawhi Leonard. You play him. He's good. He's very, very good at basketball. Again, man, I really slacked off on this. Marcus Morris, pretty sure is like 4,900. He's in that range. That's what he was last game. So he's in that range. 29 minutes for Marcus Morris, what I gave him. He's someone who I always just kind of, if I'm playing GBPs, I'll sprinkle in there because he can knock down threes when he gets hot. So not a terrible guy to play. Just want to make him a core guy today. Landry Shamet, 3,500. I have him for 19 minutes today. I think he'll probably play around that. I just don't want to play Landry Shamet ever, really. And if he's only going to play 19 minutes, a 0.5 point per minute producer, I really don't want to get there. Lou Will, 5,800. Someone I do want to get there at the high usage. I always say to make a group, if you're playing GPPs, or even just don't put all three of Lou Will, Paul George, and Kawhi in lineups. They don't all go off together. So that's something I would say to do. Ivica Zubac, $5,000. I have him for 30 minutes today, and he should be playing 30. Harrell's looked terrible in the playoffs, so he should be playing more minutes, especially against Denver when when Jokic is on the other team. So I don't hate getting Zubac for 30 minutes today. We'll probably get more like 25, but at $5,000, he's a high 1.12 point per minute producer. I'll definitely get some exposure to him. Seems a little too cheap. I feel like he's going to be kind of popular. All right, so Toronto, I'm actually I talked up Boston, but I really like Toronto. These were two of my favorite teams to watch this year. I just love seeing Toronto succeed so well without Kawhi. Not a big Siakam fan personally, but always been a big Kyle Lowry fan. If you know me personally, I've always talked up Kyle Lowry. My friends hate it, but, I think Kyle Lowry is very, very good at basketball and very underrated at times. But then I've also become, in this playoff series, a giant fan of OG Anunoby. I think this guy's going to be very, very good. He just needs to develop an offensive game, and he's going to be a above average player, and maybe like every once in a while competing for an all-star team every once in a while. I think that's his ceiling to me. I mean, he's an elite defender and he can shoot the ball. He's not a liability in the 3-point line anymore. If he can just develop a better offensive game, he's going to be very good. And he's still very young. I think this is his third year in the league. So and he was a one and done in college at Indiana. So OG Anunoby I think is going to be very good. But for DraftKings, $5,900. He's been productive, but I still just don't really want to pay $5,900 for OG Anunoby personally. But he has been very productive in the playoffs, and if that continues, I think that's a very good play. I'm done playing Marc Gasol. I'm just done. He's just bad. I think he's just done. He's just not good anymore. He's just bad. I don't have anything else to say other than Marc Gasol's not good at basketball anymore. He's just not. He just looks washed, looks dust, so I don't want to get there anymore. He only played 60 minutes last game, and clearly at the end of the game, the Raptors want to go small, and I'm such a proponent of going small if you don't have mobile bigs anymore. Every single team in the NBA. So, if you're Denver, yeah, you play Jokic, obviously. But, Toronto's lineup at the end of the game, that's what their lineup should, 95% of the time be, unless they're playing like Jokic. So, that's what it should be at the end of games. OG Anunoby at center was awesome. Daniel Tice is a mobile center, but he's also not 7 feet tall. So, you don't need to play Marc Gasol or Serge Ibaka against them at the end of the game. So anyway, I don't want to get Marc Gasol. I don't think he's going to get as much run. Serge Ibaka, though, I think is okay, 5,400, because we know his ceiling's really high. 1.13 point per minute guy. Was doing pretty good, and then he just didn't get run fourth. So I'm a little bit nervous about that. I wouldn't have a ton of him today, but someone I definitely have some interest in. Kyle Lowry, 8,600. That's way too expensive for Kyle Lowry, but the guy's just been balling out. So, there's nothing I can say negative about him. 1.12 point per minute producer. I have him for 43 minutes, 8,600. He's going to score a lot. It's a Game 7 closeout game. So, if there's one player on this team that I believe would show up, it's going to be Kyle Lowry. So, I think he's fine. Norman Powell, 4,400, played 29 minutes, or I think he played 28 last game. I gave him 29 today. 0.9 point per minute producer, $4,400 on DraftKings. He's too cheap. If he's going to play that many minutes, I want all of Norman Powell. That was the problem for me with Norman Powell the whole series, is he just hasn't been getting the minutes, but he finally got them, and he should have been getting them. Did very good in that overtime, except I still to this day don't understand why in the first overtime they had 16 seconds left, tie ball game, and they decided to go ISO Norman Powell for the win. That made no sense, but second overtime, Norman Powell really clutched it out. And I think at $4,400, if he's going to play that many minutes again, I want a ton of Norman Powell. Definitely going to be someone that's one of the better values on the slate. Definitely going to be someone I get a lot of today. So Pascal Siakam's been complete garbage in the entire bubble. Been garbage. Will he show up in this game? I don't know. I'm probably just going to avoid him. I can't trust the guy who's just been complete garbage. He really has been bad. 44 minutes I have him for. He's going to be out there a ton, a 1.18 point per minute producer. And if you were telling me any, literally ever in the regular season that I'm going to get Pascal Siakam for 44 minutes at $1,700, I'd have been that's a lock, but he's been trash, so I don't really want to get there as much. not the guy I want to go to. And then Fred VanVleet, I do want to get some at 7,900 at 41 minutes from him at 1.03 point per minute. Another guy that I would just expect to show up for Toronto is Fred VanVleet. He's very clutch. Just seems to have nothing. Just seems to phase that guy. A great shooter, great defender. I love Freddie. He's going to be a very good player in the NBA for a long time. So really happy. His story is really cool. So I think he's a good player today. Played today as well. 7,900. I want to get there. But yeah, I think that's really all I got to say. If you want to ask me a question on anything, just you can leave a comment below, or you can follow me on social media, ask me on Twitter or something, or on Patreon. I'll answer anywhere. I'm really not doing anything today, so probably go to the gym and that's about it. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And make sure to leave a like, subscribe on the channel. Be sure to check out NFL stuff because that's out there. But yeah, thanks, guys. Ugh.